I seem to be the oldest person here, though I'm retired. To thank everyone. First of all, let me thank you for, without any hesitation at all, for saying, oh, that they would be quite happy to have Budoy here. Because like Babu tells you, UP was our, in a sense, our second home in Cebu. Budoy lived at our place. Errol lived in our place in private. As did a lot of other students. Because I was alone in that house. My parents had passed away. And so one day when he was in the first year, I think it was first day of classes, Budoy, he came to me and said, can I stay with you? So I said to him, oh, onyo, balibaran tikaw, bud. Balibaran tikaw, Errol. Asa man ka mo, puyo? Ingon siya nga, mangita na po jeepney, sir. Kupuyawan ng batana. So of course I said to him, I was happy to say, okay, sige, basta dili ikaw tagdon nga kuan ha, nga murag border kay wapag yung going kwarta. Kasi I was just beginning to teach in UP. And you know, in the old days, they paid us very little. Pero si Budoy, you know, he was such a presence in that house. Because from time to time, his classmates, and many of them would just crash in, meaning they go there and then they sleep. I don't know how we ever survived, but always they managed to buy some amount of beer and something to eat, mainly sardines mostly. Anyways, but he was there and he made people laugh. Grabe. Kuya kayo, timing kong bata na. It was such a happy house. Though I was alone in that house, most of the students, just because Budoy was there, not because of me, I think. And just because Budoy was there, they would just crash in any time of the day, and then some of them would sleep there, stay maybe many days. I know silang Jesse, si Babu, I probably slept there a few times. I don't know how we ever survived those years, but if I think back on those times, I think those were very happy times. And of course, we did not always live in that house because most of the time we were living in the basement out there, and the basement is haunted by ghosts. And even this place is haunted by ghosts. And you know, as I was walking away, we were going to ride with Babu. I was walking away from Sigbin House, which was where Budoy had a wake the first 4 days. I thought I heard somebody was walking behind me. And then when I looked, there was nobody there. And all I could think of was, oh, so Budoy wants to come with us. That's okay. We were so blessed by his presence. But it's important for me to talk about what I learned from Budoy. Because, you know, when I started teaching, which means that when Budoy came to me, I didn't really know anything about art. Everything I knew about art, and I would teach later on to the kids, to my students. I sort of learned along the way. And I always tell my students that I'm learning more from them than they are from me. And that doesn't really matter, because if you want to be a good artist, a good musician, we all know that we teach ourselves. And what can a teacher really teach? But just a few fundamentals, how to make a drawing, as if drawing was all that mattered, or if you are a musician, how to do chords, how to recognize notes, as if those really mattered, but in the end, it's not, because the music is coming from our hearts. And if there is anything I learned from Budoy, is that everything comes from the heart. I was a
Thank you, miss. Okay ra
jaded
ko.
intellectual by the time I was teaching, but Budoy taught me a lot of things. And when I think about him, I always think how he was like my father. You know, my father, he died at a young age. He was a veteran of the war, probably suffered from PTSD. And so my father was a little bit too strict, a little bit too hard-edged. You know, I had to forgive him many things before I finally learned to love him. But if you took all the meanness out of my father, and you took away all the bad things about him, then I would be left with somebody like Budoy. So it is wrong for people to think that uh, he was like a son to me. He was like, in a sense, like a father to me, you know? And then let me explain that a little bit more clearly. And it is this. You know, when I was young, my father would repeat this kind of, I thought, a poem in Bisaya over and over again. Whenever he got drunk or whenever he was happy, whenever he was sad, he would go and sing. Silim kilat, naglatay-latay sa dagat, walay laing gisugat, kiyera o gubat. So which I thought was a poem, but it is actually a riddle. A tigmo, to which tigmo, or riddle, the answer is Sigbin. Because where I come from in Dumanog, they always, whenever there was a successful person, a successful warrior especially, they would always say, that's because Sigbinan, sa Sigbinan ginitawanan. That's what they thought of Leon Kilat also. Kato si Leon Kilat, Sigbinan gito, naagito siya Sigbin. And which was why it seemed like si Leon Kilat naglatay-latay sa dagat, that is as if he walked on water. Because the power of the Sigbin is that it will bring its master to anywhere he desires. And so in the lore and the story that is told of Leon Kilat, he would be fighting the Spanish out there when he was born in Baco. At the same time, he would be fighting the Spanish at Tres de Abril, where they actually fought the first successful battle, driving the Spanish back to the Fort San Pedro. And if I were to write, I can't write about Budoy lang. In fact, I'm having a hard time just talking about him in front of you without becoming emotional. And my father, he always said, oh, you can't be emotional. My father was that way, GK. Magkilak-kilak ganun ka, mabunalan sa mga, di ba? But Budoy, I learned from him by studying the way he went about his art, you know? And I learned that the model that he kept for himself was that he was a cultural warrior. A warrior for Philippine culture. And it is very important. I am a writer to some extent, not of history, but of art. And one of these days I'm going to write about Budoy because I would have to. Because if we told the story of how art grew in the Bisaya regions, it would have to include him, and not just him, but GK, his friends. These guys. Because they went through great difficulty just to present their art to people. And as every artist knows in his heart here, it is not that easy to make authentic art and good art and then find somebody who will like it. Budoy was a French artist, just like me. When I think of my own teacher, Abiliana, I think of him as a folk artist. And if I wanted to become the artist that I want to be, if I was going to become the artist that I want to be, I hope that people will say that Raymond Fernandez was a folk artist, just like his father Budoy. Budoy's art has to be understood in this way, or I propose that it be understood this way. For 300 years, we have been struggling against Western imperialism. And everything that we were taught, my generation was taught about art anyway, came from Western books. And Budoy, he knew that there was something wrong there. He could paint like an impressionist in such a wonderful way. He won the PLDT cover contest, I think. He was still a student at that time. This guy, he had tenacity. He had, I think Bob Marley says, the lion. The lion. That was Budoy. But I think of him as the blackbird from a song by John Lennon which goes blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you are only waiting for this moment to arrive. And I think Budoy has gone to somewhere he wanted to go. I think discipline has brought him here. We are all cultural warriors. And Budoy, if he did not have a Sigbin, he was probably a Sigbin himself. And certainly he worked on me as if I had a Sigbin. That was him. I suppose si Jared will remember it that way, Babu as well. You know, he came into our lives just like from the shadows, suddenly appearing out of nowhere. And then there was Budoy. He says, "Oh, kamusta naman ta?" And then, you know, and then we'd meet everywhere, almost. I mean, as if he was many places at one time. And you find it hard to believe that he could travel that quickly, just like Leon Kilat. And that's why he calls himself Junior Kilat, by the way. But I go back to to him as a cultural warrior because we are always engulfed by Western culture. And we cannot help that. His idol, Bob Marley, to some extent was also affected by that culture. But the story of the colonized people finding themselves is a story of war. And we have heroes and warriors just like Budoy who would have to know about what's going on, who would tell the stories that you do not find in the Western books. The Western books will not talk to you about post-colonial power. They will not talk to you about the Sigbin. The Sigbin is supposed to be a weird creature of darkness, somewhat the devil himself, perhaps. But Bernard, do you understand? He gives us a purpose. And he gives us assurance that in the days to come, he will get what he strived for, as will we all. And that the Filipino and the Bisaya culture is still being formed now. And it is formed by people who are willing to fight for it. Just like this guy. Thank you very much.
The first time I met Budoy was actually, he was a second. Now my only disappointment.
Si Babuan daw at ignite hindi finance. Ang iyang message mo siya nga, Babs, can I call for documentary? I don't know what, but he just wanted to make a documentary. Talking
Budoy ako, pangangkin mo. Papamitan ko ang siyakoy, wala man iyang imuron. Ayay, Budoy, nakautoy. Budoy, kahit magkalidagoy,
Oroy, ipasikara tumoy. Akong kauban diri sa balay, dunay mapons, dunay sexy.
Mo na became a fan of Budoy, no? O katong music niya, kung kasi na architect, this guy must be some kind of a genius. So, nakasuon.